All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Rachel Klein. I will be your presenter today, along with Louis Frank. He's here with me as well to show you some information on the Vanco side. Today's webinar is going to be about 30 minutes, so it's a little longer than our usual 20-minute time, but we're going to split the 30 minutes in two parts. The first half, Louis is going to take over, and he's going to go in and show you some information on the Vanco side. So he's going to show you two different ways that the givers of your church are actually able to go in and give through Vanco. Okay, so the screens he's going to show you will be the screens that your parishioners will see as they give. It'll give you an idea of what they can expect when they go to give to your organization. So he's going to walk you through that half, and then I'm going to jump in after he's entered two donations. I'll jump in and actually show you how to get that giving downloaded right into church windows. It's pretty slick, really user-friendly, so we need about 30 minutes to show you this. This webinar is recorded as always, so we'll get it cleaned up, hopefully put out at churchwindows.com by end of week for you guys to rewatch if you want to. So let me go ahead and pass this on over to Louis. Keep in mind that there will be a little bit of a shift as we jump from my screen over to his.
Great. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks for inviting me today, just to make sure that you can hear me okay. Everything sound okay?
Yep, you're coming through loud and clear.
All right, awesome. Well, actually, I'll flip on my webcam here, too, so that you guys can see me. I've maybe met some of you yesterday. If you are on our event, if you were, thanks so much for joining. So an event that we're really excited about today, being able to show you from the member side of how someone can give online, and then, of course, for you on the back side of how that actually gets imported into church windows. So what you guys are seeing on my screen right now is an online giving page, and this is a hosted online giving page. And what that means is that we can actually host the page for you. So you don't actually have to create that on your site. And I'll show you another option that we have, which is called our embed section in just a minute here. But really what you can do with our hosted page is you can customize this however you want. We just put a sample logo up here. We change some of the colors. We put our own sort of welcome message on here as well. So all of this is completely customizable for you. And as I'm scrolling down and looking onto the right here, is if you have members that already have a login or an email address or a password, they can just simply log in right there. That's if people have already stored payment method and they want to log in and give again, they can do that right here as well, or people can create their own profile. So what we wanted to show you today or take you through what so that sample what would look like from a member perspective. So I'll just scroll down here and look under our donation section. Here you can have as many different funds that you would like to have. Here they have Sunday giving, building fund, music ministry, food pantry, other. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start plugging in some dollar amounts. And people can choose, you know, those dollar amounts that they want to, and specifically what funds they want to give to. Obviously a big Sunday giving fan, and I'm also a music fan, so I'll give to those two for $25 each. And then you can choose your frequency. So this is really the power that electronic giving has of being able to set up those reoccurring gifts, especially now in the summertime when a lot of people choose to leave, go on family vacation, school is out, that sort of thing. I'm sure I don't have to tell you about the summer slump, but be able to set this up on a reoccurring basis. So you have a few choices here: one time, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, semi-monthly. I'll do weekly because I'm just a good church member, and I'll set up that payment date for today. You can also schedule this out in advance. So if you wanted to have this happen in June or July or just in a further date, you can also schedule that out in advance. So that's a great option to have as well. The other item that I wanted to highlight here too under the donations is this payments. We have a lot of customers that use these online giving pages as a way to collect one-time payments. So if you have a summertime event that's happening, so some of the examples that we have here, an annual retreat, a vacation Bible school, if you have a golfing event or things like that, you can take one-time payments using the Give Plus online platform as well. You could also create their own brand new web page. So not only could you have just your regular giving online page, but then you could drive people to just their own dedicated web page for whatever event you might have. So again, vacation Bible school, a golf event, whatever it is, you can customize that with colors and logos and everything that you might have there as well. All right, so you can see my total of $50. I'll hit continue. That'll take me to the actual payment screen where I'll plug in information. Now, if I already have a member profile that I've already logged in, all of this will already be populated for me. So since this is the first time that I'm doing that, I got to plug in this information. And so since my browser contains a lot of that information and try to make it quick, I'll just select that. See, I got my first name, my last name, my email address, and then all this other information that we have here as well. And then I'll plug in our card information. So if you bear with me, I'll just plug this in here. All right, I think I got that right. Put in my my CV number, which is just the security code, card on your back or in the front, depending if you're using American Express. Plug in my expiration date. So just like paying for something online, going through all of these different steps. So I'll plug in the name of cardholder, me. And then another benefit for online is we have what we call our member offset fees. And so this is just a simple checkbox that you at the church can decide if you want to have this visible for your church members. And you can also choose the percent that you want to have included as well. So this is customizable if you want it to be 3%, 2.5, whatever the case might be, to have your members choose. We see a high percentage of church members actually choosing this gift when they are giving. So I'm just going to click that off again and direct you to the upper right-hand corner where you saw it's $50. I select the member offset fee, and you can see that it selects the 2.75%, which is equal to $1.38, and it increases my total to $51.38. Now the member will get their full donation, so that $51.38 is a tax-deductible donation, so they'll get credit for that full donation. I'll just click the same as address as above as the billing address, so that becomes populated. Now, if I want to create a profile here, I can select a password, and there I've already created a member profile, so I don't have to come in and enter in my payment information again. I'll confirm that I'm not a robot for security purposes, and then I'll hit process. All right. And then I get taken to a confirmation screen where it says thank you for your payment donation, a summary of that, what card I used, and my information. So I can print this page for my own purposes. Also, if I put in an email address, which I did, you get sent an email receipt. And so then again, you can use that for confirmation purposes as well if you want to keep that for tax purposes. But one of the benefits that Rachel will take you through is how you can have this integrated into church windows, so you can create those end-of-year statements really easily through the integration. So that is our hosted online option. The other one that I wanted to show you was our embed option. So this is, again, we're on a church website here. They actually have this embedded into their site experience. So I'll take you back to our online page here, which you can see this would be a brand new web page. It would open in a brand new browser. If you wanted to have the experience where you wanted to have people give via contained within your website, we have that option as well. So if you want to see a very similar experience where they select the fund, right, they can choose if it's one-time or reoccurring, put that amount in, and really just follow those same prompts that I took you through for the Give Plus Online hosted version. It's really just that simple. And the last thing that I wanted to take you through, and I can plug this into the chat as well, if you're interested in learning about sort of the additional functionalities, capabilities, want to get signed up with Vanco, you can just go to vancopayments.com/church-windows. I'll copy this and drop this into the chat for you as well. But here you can fill out information, and we're happy to contact you as well. So Rachel, hopefully that gave a good overview about that. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them on the webinar. I'm here to help answer any of those questions that you have, or we're happy to take those after the event as well. So thanks, Rachel.
All right. Thank you, Louie. If you could go ahead and pass the screen on back to me.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. So Louie just got done showing you two different options that your givers can actually go in through Vanco and give to your church. Now, what I want to show you next is how easy those donations that come in through Vanco can then be imported into your church windows. So right now, if you're seeing my screen, you're going to see it saying version 20.17.3. This is our most current version, so if you have this, you are absolutely up to date. Now, in version 20.17.1, we came out with this new feature, which we're talking about today in donations. It's import via download. So in the past, if you have had Vanco, using Vanco in the past, you used to have to save a file somewhere on your machine or somewhere you were able to get to it from Vanco and then import that file into donations. Now you're able to download your donations right from Vanco's website and plop them right into donations. It's really slick. So that's what I'm going to show you today. And remember, this started in version 20.17.1. So if you're not in that version or later yet, you won't have this download option. But if you want it, you can head out to the website, of course, or you can call us at support and we can send it to you that way. So in donations, we're going to go up to the top. Under import donations, I'm going to go to Vanco, and now I have this new option, this import via download. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now it's kind of up to you how often you do this. If you have people that kind of give sporadically throughout the week, you could come in and do an import weekly. You could always wait till the end of the month and do one big import at the end of the month. It's really, really up to you how often you want to do this. So as soon as the screen pops up, it's taking me right to my imported donations tabs. I need to specify the date range. So this is the date range that I want Church Windows to connect up to Vanco and pull the donations within. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a date range from April 1st through today. So I want Church Windows to grab everything that came in within these two dates. Once I get my dates in, I'm going to hit begin download. It just wants me to verify that these are the dates I want, so I'm going to say yes. And then it's going to pull in this Vanco download screen. So there's three things I have to fill out here. I need to plug in my client ID, my login name, and my password. Now these three things you would need to get from Vanco. We at Church Windows aren't going to know what your Vanco client ID, login name, and password is. Okay, so keep in mind, contact Vanco to get these things. I'm going to go ahead and plug them in here. I'm going to put my password in. Now, you can save the login name, so if you check this box, the client ID and the login name, it will pull that in each time. Okay, so you won't need to type these two things in, but you do have to type your password in every time you go and try to do a download. Once you get your information in, I'm going to hit OK. And Church Windows is going to start connecting out to Vanco's server to look for those donations that have been given through Vanco. Okay? Once it grabs everything I had within the date range that I'm using, it might take you here first, okay? So keep in mind, this is the unmatched items from import tab. So if you have people that just signed up for Vanco, or you created new funds that maybe people just started giving to through the Vanco sites, you have to match that here in Church Windows before it's going to allow you to import those donations. So along the left-hand side here, these are the Vanco IDs. So when someone signs up through Vanco to give, they get a Vanco ID. It is your job here in Church Windows to match what giver in church windows this Vanco ID belongs to. Okay, now if you're not sure who has this Vanco ID, you can head out to Vanco's Service Center. You should get a login for that. At their Service Center, under Reports, there's a report generator. You can go into that report generator and you're going to run a report called Active Customers. Okay, that report is going to give you a list of people's names and what their Vanco ID is. That way, once you're in church windows matching this up, you'll be able to hit the down arrow here under Giver, see all of your people that you've entered into church windows, and plug them in right here. Now you have to do this before the program is going to allow you to import anything because it doesn't know who to give the donations from this Vanco ID to in the program. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and plug these in real fast. We have a Victoria, and then a Robert, and then our last person here is Eric. Now keep in mind too, the giver number that you assign someone in church windows. So next to these givers where you see a number, this is just the giver number in church windows. That giver number does not have to match their Vanco ID. Okay? It might be helpful to do it, but it's completely unnecessary. Someone can have a giver number 7 and have a Vanco ID. That's totally different. That's fine. All right, keep in mind too, you have to match your giving account. So if someone is giving to Vanco ID 004, that means they're really giving to 110 Easter. And again, you can pull a report at Vanco's Service Center to figure out what your accounts are. In the Service Center, it's under Admin, Manage Funds, okay? And if you need help finding this out, I'm sure, Louis, you can contact Vanco and they'll be able to point you in the right spot.
Absolutely.
All right, one more here. All right, so now I have all of my IDs matched to the proper places in church windows. I'm going to save my matches. Now that I have them saved, I won't have to match them again. Okay, and you might have an import where you already have all of your matches set up, so this unmatched items tab, you won't even have to go there. All right, now you can also come into set up givers, set up giving accounts, and you can quickly see what you have linked so far, or you can add more links. If you get a notification, say somebody new signed up, you could come right in here to set up givers and plug in their information if you need to. Once your items are matched, you're then going to go to Imported Donations. This is going to show you all of the gifts that came in through Vanco for this date range. So if you hit the plus sign next to each date, you'll be able to see the person and you'll be able to see the transaction details. All right, so this is everything that came in. Let me shrink these back up. And then the next step to get it into church windows is to come over here and hit this Create Donations button off to the right. I'm going to hit that, and then it's going to take me to this Imported Batches screen. So this is really similar to if you're just entering donations the regular old way through the Enter Donation screen. You're going to still see it's like an unposted batches screen. So at this point, you still have to go through and post. And you have to post each date separately, okay? Donation looks at different dates as different batches. So I'm going to highlight the first one. I'm going to hit post. It's going to tell me it doesn't fall on a standard posting day, which is Sunday. That's fine. I'm going to hit yes. And then I'm going to jump along to the next one. Now you can print from here. You can definitely print from here. It's going to be an unposted batch report if that's something you want. A lot of people like to print before they post and after. You can still do that right from this screen. I got one more here. All right, so now all of my imported donations have been posted. I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. And then I can close this import screen. So I'm going to come back up to the top and I'm going to go into posted batches because I want you to see here down at the bottom 4/4, 4/17, 4/20, 4/25, and 5/17. Those were my batches that I just imported. They're all posted here. If you want a batch report, just simply highlight it, hit the print batch button down here at the bottom, and you're going to get a regular posted batch report. Here you go. We just had one gift that day. And then, of course, if you own the accounting module, you have to move these or transfer this giving over into accounting. If you don't own the accounting module, then this doesn't apply to you. But to transfer these over, up at the top, we're going to go to Transfer to Accounting, and we're going to see a listing of those 5 dates we just put in. And then over here on the right, you're going to hit Post on each, and this will then send that money over into accounting. Simple as that. So the process of checking posted batches and printing a batch report is the same. The process of transferring over to accounting is going to be the same. It's just that really nice, easy, slick process of importing those Vanco gifts right from Vanco servers using that via download feature. All right, guys, well, that covers what I was going to go over with you. Looks like we have about 10 minutes left. So if you have any questions, if you have questions for Louis, feel free to type those into the questions section. I know he's keeping an eye on that. If you have questions for how it works once you're in Church Windows, type those in. Kellyanne logged in with me, so she's happy to answer those as well. And Louis, if you come across a question that you think would be really good to kind of read out loud and explain to other people, please jump in and feel free to do that.
Sure. I think one of the first ones, Rachel, we haven't got it yet, but that is a common question as you have the donation screen up there, is that you don't have to download these transactions into Church Windows, these donations. They're going to hit your bank account. You can choose when you want to download them and post them in Church Windows. That money will still be in your bank account. It's up to you when you want to then post them to your individual members. Just a point of clarification there.
Nancy's asking, can I change the giving account if the member entered it incorrectly? Nancy, you definitely can. At this point, the only way you're going to be able to change it is to actually post the donation and then go back into Browse and change it. So once the donation is posted, those transactions get generated in Browse here. You would then have to go find the gift in Browse, highlight the transaction, and use your correct button to then swap it out for the correct giving account the person wants. Let me scroll down here and see what other question we have. Ron's asking, will it allow you to import the batch more than once accidentally? Ron, it will not. There's a new tool that was written in here in the program that the program will actually go out and look for that date, that person, and that amount. And if it already sees that it's been imported, it's not going to let you put it in twice, so you're not going to get double postings.
Rachel had a couple of questions that I can address as well. One is from Alice. Alice wanted to know, can donations made with Vanco be put into a different bank account? Yeah, that is a sort of a unique feature that we offer, is that you can have different funds go to different bank accounts. So some of the use cases that we've seen our customers use is that if they have, say, they're paying down their mortgage on their church, they have that as a separate bank account, actually having that feed right into that mortgage account, while they have then their other funds within a different bank account. And so we can split that up depending on how you want to do that, and we do that through funds. So you can direct which funds you want to go to different bank accounts. And then the other one that came in, Rachel, I think a few of them came in, is how quickly will we get the donations once someone gives? And that depends on how they give. So if they give via credit card, it's usually about 1 to 2 day processing, depending on when they do it, time of day that they do it. And the same with electronic check. So depending on sort of what they're using and when they actually do it, so obviously banks are closed on Sunday, so like if someone gives via electronic check, there might be a little bit of a lag time in there, but it's generally in the, that 1 to 3 day window that you would see your those donations actually hit your bank account.
Hey, Louie, it looks like Kathy's asking a question. What's the difference between online and embedded host? Do you think you could answer that for her?
Yeah, sure. If you want to pass control back, or I can just take it back if that would work
Sure,
for
you can just take it. That's fine.
Okay, sure. Let me do that here. Okay, I think it's a little bit easier to visually show you. So our embed function is if you have an existing website today, it can literally be on your web page, whatever web page you want that to be. So here's the example that I'm showing on my screen right now, St. Luke United Methodist Church. As you can see, right, if you scroll down, the giving is actually embedded right onto their web page. Now the difference with hosted is, if I click on this link, it would be a separate web page entirely. So now you can see that it has its own different URL, and it would, in most cases that we see customers use it, they have like a giving button on their site, or they can even post it on Facebook or anything like that. That would take them to a page that we here at Vanco could host for you. So you would still go into Vanco Service Center, customize the page however you would like it, but it would be its own unique URL that would be outside of your website. I hope that helps answer your question, Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if you see anything else, Rachel, that I might be missing on questions too. Happy to answer any questions.
All right, let's see. Kathy says, if multiple date postings in 1 month, can the dates be changed to a single date for a single monthly report? Kathy, when you do the import, it's always going to focus on the date of the donation. Okay, so there's not a way that you can go in and take, like on my example, I had 5 different dates pop up. There's not a way you can take all those 5 dates and kind of squish them into one, if you will. You're actually going to have to post them separately. Now, there's nothing stopping you from going back in once they're posted and browse and doing corrections to the dates. If it's really important for you to all show up on one date, but it's definitely not necessary to do that, but you do have that option.